language of the Benetton mechanics, that they are absolutely furious.
And I can remember no Grand Prix driver who's made a greater impression on me in his first season of Grand Prix racing than Jenson Button. Next year he goes to Benetton, a young man with a great Grand Prix future in front of him. And there's a man with a great Grand Prix future behind him, Michael Schumacher. And that's Genet, that's Marc Genet. He's done it again. This is his first time at Monaco, and he's done it in at the swimming pool.
They'll have to red flag that.
Mika Häkkinen is in provisional pole position at roughly half distance in terms of time. Lap 28 out of 56, which, unless I'm very much mistaken, is half a distance. And yes, I am very much mistaken. Twice 26 is not 58. We are not quite at the halfway point of the race. Well, we are now, actually. And Schumacher is continuing to harry, push. Just look at the gap before Frentzen comes through in 4th position. Fisichella is 8th. Mika Salo, an excellent 9th for Sauber. Jenson Button in the top 10 is in 11th position. Both the McLaren drivers are faster than their equivalents in the McLaren team at the moment. Mika Häkkinen comes through to win in Spain and pulls... Hello? What's going on? Off goes Mika Häkkinen! Off goes Mika Häkkinen out of the race! Mika Häkkinen, the race leader, loses the McLaren and slam bang into the wall, and the Finn is out. No points at Imola. No points for his McLaren. Loses traction into the wall, out of the race. Wow!
I don't make mistakes, I make prophecies that immediately turn out to be wrong.
Anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go!
And Alesi is the man who is closest to the man in front of him at the present moment.
And look now, at the end of the 5th lap, and we're on lap 6 now.
That's the Williams.
And Panis goes straight past the Williams of Frentzen.
A blow to the head with a helmet on doesn't hurt nearly as much as a blow to the head without one. So, Button is now up into 7th position.
I just happen to have my magic chart with me. It's a sort of shorthand thing of everything I need to know.
And how often do you actually look down at that? And how often?
Never. It's the
I was going to say, yeah.
Turns into the chicane. Right, left, right. Now look at the conflagration at the back, which is about to happen. You can't see it. Both the Ferraris are in the top 6 at the present moment, and that is the only constructor that is. As they exit turn 5 on this 13-turn corner,
David pulls across in front of Coulthard.
all I can tell you at the moment is that David Coulthard, he keeps on accelerating and closing up to David Coulthard.
And Damon Hill wins in Belgium. Fantastic!
And then Irvine moving up from 10th maybe to 9th. I don't think he'll do better than that. Over the line and remains in 7th position.
Never ever give Michael Schumacher half a chance. He'll be like a buried up a drain pipe.
And it is now 29 minutes past the hour. 29 minutes past 2 in Monaco. 29 minutes past 1 in Great Britain, 29 minutes past something else in the many other parts of the world, India, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, that are listening to us at the present moment, not to mention Malaysia. Yeah, another terrific race by Jenson Button, and again he is at the Hungaro ring for the first time.
Meantime, Fisichella has moved up into 5th position, and I predict he's going to pull away from the Williams. While you were away, Giancarlo Fisichella got it all wrong and lost 2 places.
But 4 cars in the lead are both on a 2-stop strategy. Frentzen is in 4th position now. Michael Schumacher moves up into 4th place. Frentzen attack! That's Coulthard's McLaren in front of him. 2 World Championship leaders on the front row. There he is, Mika Häkkinen alongside him, Michael Schumacher. Mika Häkkinen is on the 2nd row of the grid. David Coulthard up there with Michael Schumacher.
And you can see by the body language of the Benetton mechanics that they are absolutely furious.
And I can remember no Grand Prix driver who's made a greater impression on me in his first season of Grand Prix racing than Jenson Button. Next year he goes to Benetton, a young man with a great Grand Prix future in front of him. And there's a man with a great Grand Prix future behind him, Michael Schumacher. And that's Genet, that's Marc Genet. He's done it again. This is his first time at Monaco. And he's done it in at the swimming pool.
They'll have to red flag that.
Mika Häkkinen is in provisional pole position at roughly half distance in terms of time. Lap 28 out of 56, which, unless I'm very much mistaken, is half a distance. And yes, I am very much mistaken. Twice 26 is not 58. We are not quite at the halfway point of the race. Well, we are now, actually. And Schumacher is continuing to harry, push. Just look at the gap before Frentzen comes through in 4th position. 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐯𝐶 is 8th. Mika Salo, an excellent night for Sauber. Jenson Button in the top 10 is in 11th position. Both the McLaren drivers are faster than their equivalents in the McLaren team at the moment. Mika Häkkinen comes through to win in Spain and pulls... Hello? What's going on? Oh, off goes Mika Häkkinen! Off goes Mika Häkkinen out of the race! Mika Häkkinen, the race leader, loses the McLaren and slam bang into the wall, and the Finn is out. No points at Imola. No points for his McLaren. Loses traction into the wall, out of the race. Wow! There are some small runoff areas here, but you've got to be millimetrically perfect in your positioning of the car. Move over, there is a driver behind you who is going faster and has the right to pass. Michael Schumacher, as I expected, is extending his lead over Michael Schumacher. This race is going to be a commentator's nightmare.
These gravel traps don't seem to be stopping anybody at all here.
There isn't one there, Murray.
Just cost a few pence.
Look, we've got a strange guy on this walking down the side of the racetrack in a raincoat on the grass, and what on earth is he doing? Crossing the racetrack during the Grand Prix, and clearly either a bit too much beer there or he's hit his head on something, because he's not being sensible at all. Safety car, so this will close the pack up. James.
Yeah, safety car, and everybody's reacting quickly. We're going to have everybody making their pit stops. We're expecting who's going to come first from McLaren. This can be very painful for whichever is the second. Amazing turnaround.
Fantastic development this is. That lunatic, whoever he is changing the complexion of the race. There he is.
Hopefully we'll never see that again. Man on track.
But ding dong, are we going to see a race now?
And just look at the way Schumacher is pushing the car. You can see he's right on the ragged edge between flying off the circuit and staying off it.
Keep this order in your mind. Schumacher leading, Häkkinen second, Coulthard third, Rubens Barrichello right behind him. 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐯𝐶 is 5th, Herbert is 7th, and they're virtually together on the track itself. The best that Mika Häkkinen could do, I think, is to take 3rd position. No, my goodness, he takes pole position. Incredible. 17.529. Now listen to this. Barrichello started it, then Button took over, then Schumacher, Ralph, then Häkkinen, then Coulthard, then Michael Schumacher, then Häkkinen, David Coulthard again, and is Michael Schumacher going to do it yet again? No. Nick Heidfeld, thankfully driving his last race for Prost. He's had a dreadful season. Barrichello leads Häkkinen, Coulthard is 3rd, Salo in the Sauber is 4th, Jenson Button is in 5th position, and Pedro de la Rosa in the Arrows is 8th.
Ralph Schumacher doesn't really look to me as though he run out of gas. What do you think now?
I think that's Michael, actually.
Barrichello is driving, or about to drive, in his 4th race for Ferrari. He's following the great Ayrton Senna, who never drove for Ferrari, and Rubens Barrichello is mighty proud of it. So for the second time in the very recent future, Mika Häkkinen has got the depressing sight of a red Ferrari in front of him and holding him up. And the gap has increased now. Schumacher is 10 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher.
They've both gone through their sectors, fastest of all.
This is Ayrton Senna in reverse.
And that's the battle with Frentzen 5th, Burt 6th, 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐯𝐶 6th.
You can expect a stop of round about 8 seconds. When I say stop, I mean with the car stationary. Michael Schumacher alongside the Finn in the front row. They're both super starters, but Mika Häkkinen, I think, is a superer, if there is such a word, starter than Michael Schumacher. It looks like yet another bit of brilliant tactical thinking by Ross Brawn on the circuit, and Mika Häkkinen and Michael Schumacher at the wheel.
The temperature here in the commentary box is just as tense as it is all the way around the circuit.
Prince and Fisichella, Verstappen and Takagi are 10th. Excellent for Tora Takagi. 60-minute session, and we're into the 56th minute now, nearly 4 minutes gone. What's the strategy going to be? Well, the general feeling is that most of them will be doing 2 laps.
Well, the computer hasn't sorted itself out yet from those pit stops.
No, so I'm just going to wait until it does so. So easy to get it wrong.
And McLaren are fighting back from a very, very tough 1994, 1995, 1968, a better 1967 and a better 1968.
And there are a lot of people who are saying that the yellow, intimidating colour of that Ferrari attracts people's attention when they see it coming up in the red Ferrari.
Now, my God, this is going to be an absolutely barnstorming finish.
What a boring sport Formula One is.